What's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve Pontecorvo over here, taking over for our man Christian Ortiz over at the South Ward. I'm here with Jumpy, the Exchange. As always, we're doing a little twofer right here, just going back and forth, holding it down for the South Ward and everybody that listens. We had to bring you an episode today. We felt like it was imperative that we get some of our thoughts out there and vent a little bit because I feel like we're all a little frustrated. I mean, how are you feeling over there, Jumpy?
Dude, listen, man. If I were you guys, I'd be losing my mind with what's happening. The problem is that now everybody's calling out the team. It's almost now like, are you questioning like the guys that we had last year? Were we frauds? Were they lucky? Like, what has happened? And they've made the team better, right? Quote unquote. So like,
Yep.
What is the issue here? Is it Sandro? Is it the two injuries? Are Dante Vanzier and Lewis Morgan the two guys that are really the guys of this team? Are they the two guys of this team? There's a lot of questions. And, this week I thought was you have to get points on the road. I like to say it was a must win. It was a must point, and you didn't do it. And now this week you got a tough team coming into town with Columbus that is now, you told me off camera, a must win, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely. If everyone didn't know, we Red Bulls drop 3 points and a point to Charlotte FC on the road at Bank of America Stadium, a stadium that's usually packed, that usually brings a lot of energy and is a tough place to go on any given day, Saturday or Sunday. This is on a Sunday night. But the energy for Charlotte and their crowd was not nearly as much as it used to be. So this was a golden opportunity for Red Bulls to come in and get a point at the very bare minimum. Charlotte isn't a team that's really crushing anybody, but they've been in good form. We saw it this week if you didn't, but we lose 1-0. Carlos had a decent game. Raheem had a good game. There's some small
he's been
bright
on.
spots. Yeah, he's been on. But overall, the team did not come up big when it needed to. It needed that clinical, that deadly strike, and we were missing it all game. Sandro alluded to it at the post conference and said that we could be there for 3 hours and nothing would change with our behavior in front of net. So I just want to ask you real quick, who is to kind of blame for, I guess, the offensive woes and this team not really clicking on the road? I mean, only 8 goals scored this year on the road, one of the lowest in the MLS. The Red Bulls are trying. It's not for a lack of effort, but the execution is just not there. And I don't know if it's the assistant coach. What are you thinking?
You know what I think it is? I don't think Sandro, I think we've said it a couple times. I don't think Sandro's playing to the talent that he has. I think he's still trying to go with everything as if he had the guys that were still on the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
like the Lewises and Dantes and
like,
that stuff.
I think that, he needs his guys, he needs to look at what he has, and he needs to sort it out. He can't be playing Sofo the way that he does. It's sad to see what I see happening with Sofo, because now, on the Red Bull pages, people are ripping Sofo. People are talking bad. I'm like, dude, the kid's playing out of position. Just a couple months ago, everybody was loving the guy. So if I'm not going to say call for Sandro's head right this second, but I think he's the guy that has to take the brunt of this. And I also feel that he has taken the blame for certain things throughout the season. We've always talked about, his criticism of the schedule. When they went back from New England, he said he worked the guys too hard. But then a couple weeks later, he brought up these guys go on vacation for 5 days. I can't control that. So, he now should say a little more to the crowd than what he's been saying. I'm not going to say he should take the brunt, but I think he needs to be a little more transparent with everybody.
Yeah, and to add a little bit to that, do you see his antics on the sideline? I mean, he's very animated. At one moment, he's sitting down. The next moment, he's jumping up and yelling at the guys. And then he blows his breath. And then he sits back down again. He kind of looks like a big old kid there, trying to play a FIFA game and not scoring, right? We've all been there, but maybe some of that is kind of leaking into the locker room where it's rubbing off on some of the guys too. And I don't know, if his message is slowly starting to go a little stale. I know they always get up for it. He is a really good motivator in that way.
So I think my issue with that is because I thought about that, right? And then I said to myself, you have guys there who are vets, like an Emil Forsberg, a Chupamoting, right? Who dealt with guys in the thick of things, like real things, like Champions League, like real things. You know, I'm not discrediting this, but I'm saying like bigger stages, I should say. So like, I don't think it's a job for Sandro to do that, but I think that if he's gonna depend so much on these kids, the kids need to respond better. So maybe he needs to touch in a little more on the kids, or maybe the older guys on the team need to come down and help these kids get it all sorted out. The truth of the matter is, you're not getting Dante back, you're not getting Levis back, you're not getting anything anymore because it's over. The window's closed, so now you have to make do with what you have. And you need to really take a look at every single person that's in that locker room every day. And you've all got to get the best out of each other. If you guys can't get the best out of each other and are depending on the coach to do it, you have to get something else sorted out. There has to be somebody that comes up and puts their foot down with everybody. I would hope.
I would hope it, but it's just not looking likely. Now, you say we have vets on the team, but I really say we only got 2 vets, and that's Forsberg and Chupo. After that, it's too much big of a drop-off. That's my problem.
Okay.
And that goes back to the roster building that Red Bulls weren't able to really properly do. We had players last year like Dante and J-Mai that were good locker room guys and were quality, at least on the pitch, in between the lines. Dante wasn't producing, obviously we know that, but his work rate was outstanding. He was able to stay healthy. Lewis, again, this season, disappointing, wasn't able to stay healthy. Cam Harper, nobody saw that coming. Okay, that's fine. But still, we don't have many guys that can really come in and make a big difference. We've been trying with Serge Ngoma, we've been trying with Mo, we've been trying with Wiki, and it's tough. Like we just said, I don't want to see Sofo getting ridiculed online. He doesn't really deserve it. You know, he's put in a lot of good work early on, but at the same time, if you're a starter, you're going to get starter criticism. Why does he deserve to play
Hold on a
70
second, Steve.
minutes?
I'm having a little issue here with my. I'm having a little issue with my. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
You hear me?
I can hear you.
I can see you just said I can hear you. So listen, I think you're right. I think that they have to get things this week sorted out. I think the biggest person that needs to get everything sorted out is Sandro, right? My beef is, at what point do the people stop to start calling these people out? Like, we're seeing it very little by little, but it's nothing like I think it should be from the people who are quote-unquote the biggest people here fan-wise.
And with that, we move on a little bit. We lose that result to Charlotte. Disappointing. However, Chicago Fire end up getting fucked by the Philadelphia Union 4-0, which also helps keep this playoff hopes alive for the front office of Red Bull and Red Bull Corporate and New York Red Bulls in general, thinking that we still have something here, which we kind of do, we kind of don't.
It's not over yet.
It's not just over yet, but we're going to talk about what they said after the game with Dax McCarty and Bradley Wright Phillips, that Dax touched on it, that some people think that they need to miss the playoffs and that we need a reset, and missing the playoffs would be a good thing. It would send a signal to the front office that we haven't done enough, and it would say that we need to totally relook our entire roster and really be careful with who we let go and who we sign here. But I'm going to ask it to you. Do you think that it's worth making playoffs still, even though we're right there with Chicago with that play-in game?
So I think that this is all you have left. They wasted all their other chances, like Open Cup, U.S. Open Cup, Leagues Cup. Like, they wasted those chances. So all you have left is to make the playoffs. But let's be honest. If they make the playoffs, can they make a run? I don't know with this team if they can make a run. We also said the same thing last year. So did everybody else. The playoffs are a new season. So I think at this point you just have to get to the playoffs. But also, you don't want the year that you don't... the year that you go to the final, you don't want the next year to be the year that you don't go to the playoffs. That's crazy. Like, LA,
That's what I'm saying. If something like that is so drastic, that a lot of the media should be really prying and asking, hey, how the fuck did it get to this level? I mean, I know we have the same amount of wins as last year, but if you sign one of the biggest players in Chupo, and we have a 9 now, right? Performing. And we were bitching about it all last season, and now we got it, and we're still exactly where we were, and almost in the outside looking in. I mean, that's got to be the front office's fault, and that's got to be Sandro's fault.
Yeah, I think at some point Sandro needs to come out and talk some. You know what? I'm going to see if this week I ask him something. I'm not going to put it out there now, but I'm going to see if I can ask him something. You know, the problem is that he's been deflecting a lot, and I get it. You know, like you don't want to make yourself look like a jerk off. You don't want to make front office people look like a jerk off. You don't want your teams to look like jerk offs. So like your teammates, excuse me, like you know, like I get he has to, you know, somewhat, you know, make himself look decent, but like at some point, bro, like you gotta give us something. You gotta give us something because the people are waiting for it. People are getting impatient on all these Red Bull pages. They're going crazy on X. You know, everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and if you're listening to them, everybody online and all the chirps is saying, I don't even want to make playoffs, blah blah blah. Playoffs is useless because then the mediocrity will keep on going. Then they'll save their asses, being like, hey, we made playoffs. This is a small achievement, but for a club of our stature of New York Red Bulls, making playoffs isn't good enough. I mean, I do agree with that statement. To some degree, 15 years in a row. It is a streak. It's a good streak. It's not a bad streak. It's not like we have a losing record for 15 years in a row. We made the postseason. I understand the postseason's been expanded. We got a little lucky with that. We've also got unlucky with that, with them fucking around with it and changing it to 1 or 2 games. So if we do squeak in, it'll be in a play-in game. And I do think Red Bulls can run the table with that. It's possible. And I think the same thing. It's all we got to play for. So I say we go for it. We try to get 9th. If we can get a play-in game with New York City FC, that actually won't be too bad. Go to Citi Field again and try to do that. We would at least have some good support there. And then if hypothetically we won that, you would go on to play Philly, which again in a 2-legged affair, anything could kind of happen. So I know Red Bulls are thinking of that because they just did it last year and with the less of a roster. So
you think they're comfortable right now with this, Steve?
No, I don't. They can't be because you gotta listen to the fans, and that's the problem that's always been with this franchise. Is they haven't really been voicing our concerns, like really taking in. I mean, a lot of it's hoopla. If you listen to any team after they lose, even the Yankee fans, like we really come at our team hard. We'll boo you. We won't show up. We'll show our distaste in a lot of different ways, especially online. You'll get dragged online. If I was any of those players, I would not want to go on social media right now. The best thing is just to focus on the next game. Unfortunately, I'm taking Sandro's thing and just realize that you have to win this game. You have to be clinical in front of net.
You know, the words of Chris, every time there's a derby, the exchange never loses.
Exactly. The exchange never loses. We got a big one coming up still. So that's why I'm saying, for the Red Bulls' perspective, yeah, they still have a chance at playoffs. Should we still go for it? I think so. I don't want to fucking throw in the towel now. A lot of fans are, so we'll see what the fans' reaction really is with the attendance this coming Saturday. With that, we try to move forward. How big is this Columbus game? Do or die, pretty much.
Chris, Chris, you heard me. Sorry, Steve. We both said it off camera that this game is a must-win, a must-point. You have to do something at home. But, you also had that last battle at the end of the season with Columbus, and I think Red Bull ended up losing 4-3. I think it was the last game of the season before the playoffs, and they saw each other again in the playoffs.
Yeah. So they get them, actually, sorry to cut you off, we get them last game of the season in Columbus this time.
Okay. So, decision day. You don't want it to come down to that. You got to get these points.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You got to get all the points.
Yeah, and Bradley Wright Phillips also was kind of echoing the same thing I was saying, where if you're a player, I would not go online. I wouldn't look at this schedule and get scared, because if you think that, then we're gonna get toast. We're gonna get screwed. We got to go on the road to Portland. We're gonna go see Felipe Carballo. They're gonna play Felipe Carballo against us. All right, so that's gonna be another tough result, and that's the next game after this. We have to go on the road to Portland after this. So if we don't win, if we don't get these 3 points, like the season, actually, I could really say that the season is over. We're lucky that Chicago Fire hasn't been playing that good, and they lost to Philly, and that's the only reason why we're still in it. New York City FC got a big win versus Cincinnati.
On the road.
In Cincinnati. Alonso Martinez has been pulling the strings.
Dude, MVP of best season in the league.
There. Yeah, and that's a team. Yeah, that's a team right there. That's a team that that got knocked out of the playoffs last year in the second round, but have bounced back this year, where we're coming off a finals appearance. Like, there's gonna be expectations, and Sandro should know that too. Sandro should understand why the fans are so upset. He shouldn't be like questioning like, oh, I don't get it, blah blah blah. Everyone asks all fucking stupid. They shouldn't. They should listen to the fans, at least a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But must win versus Columbus. We know this. We're playing at home, luckily, this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Then we're going to have a week off, and then we're going to have to go to Portland. So depending on other results, we'll see what the Chicago Fire do. But I think ninth is our best bet here. But in overall perspective, do you think so far, this Red Bull season has been a failure from like the front office down? Or has been there, there's been some good spots with some of the players' growth, but overall, has it been a failure for you?
I don't think so, man, because you've had some amazing time. Dude, they came out gunning.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of games where they didn't have bad games, but they had bad moments that created bad things. So, dude, we all know that they're good. It's just, I think Sandro isn't playing to the talents of the guys where he has. Sofo shouldn't be playing where he's playing. There's no way. You know what I mean?
It is.
Put that kind of pressure on him. Wiki's not really it, Victor Bogas, that ball that went in, Forsberg should have been the guy to tap that in at the end on the corner. And then, Victor Bogas got in there, too. And I'm like, dude, you just kicked away the ball from Emil Forsberg. No? It looked like that anyway. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? I'm like, this looks crazy. They look crazy.
I know. It was nuts. That Charlotte game, I almost didn't want to talk about it because it was so frustrating. We all know if we were watching, one of the closest shots we had was Raheem Edwards almost scored a fucking Olympico from the corner kick. I started dying laughing because I was like, that was the best shot we had. Raheem, bro. All across the game, Raheem's taking on 3-4 players. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to do this myself. Fuck it, I'm going in. He did that. He had that moment. Raheem Edwards had a great game. He was all over the fucking place. He doesn't stop running, and he's keeping Morales on the bench over there, who already Sandro doesn't like because he showed up fucking late to a practice. So, and then you got Kyle Duncan. He got thrown in there because Dylan Nealis got a yellow. He had to cover Zaha. He was somewhat handling his own business. The
Kyle's
defense
been good, except that situation with Diego Luna a couple games ago. That was the only. But Kyle's been good, man.
Kyle's been good. No, the defense are really. You can't really harp on any defensive performances. Really, it was the one bad pack pass by Mo Sofo that Noah didn't know if he was going to come or not to the ball. It was a bad pass, right? Charlotte gets it, hit us on the counter press, and Vargas finishes it with the top corner strike, short, on the short side of Carlos. Great finish by Vargas, but Red Bull's mistake. It's only us shooting, ourselves in the foot, and that's what's so frustrating to watch. And then try to see us score and try to have us all have this possession and try to break down Charlotte. It didn't work. We're almost better without the ball a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's tough when you got Emil Forsberg who wants to make these cunning passes, and then everyone's kind of all just in a half circle. No one's really making those penetrating runs and getting in behind the Charlotte defense, and that's what we really needed. And that's why it's good to play without the ball, because we crunch in those midfield positions, and then we hit them fast, and we kill them with our speed, and that's what we had. When we're just passing around, we're slow. We're slow like that. We don't have these sharp. We only have Forsberg, and for some reason we got guys stepping in front of Forsberg instead of feeding him the ball and letting him shoot. Forsberg didn't even get a good shot off until the last fucking second, and he's heading the ball from 4 yards out because we don't know when Serge Goma is going to cross the ball. Is he going to cross the ball at the top of the 18, or is he going to drive it all the way down to the byline and then cross it in? So we just don't know what the hell is going on with this team going forward sometimes, and it's been difficult to watch. We see Chupo making some good moves too. And
dude, let me ask you,
what are you gonna say?
From your standpoint, you have in other places around the world, you have people that just don't come anymore, right? But they let it be known that we're not coming. Do you think the Red Bull needs something like that? Or do you think the people have it in them to do that? I don't think the people have it in them to do that. I think Torcida maybe does. But, do they take them serious, the fans? If the fans were we want to talk to you guys, you think they take them serious?
Yeah, I don't know what...
Players?
That connection has been lost a little bit. The supporters groups, as we can tell, aren't as strong as they used to be. We can see that just with the lack of tifos, the lack of camaraderie. There was some in that game one versus Nashville very early in the season. There was some of it from last season where we were able to travel to Orlando and then get to LA and do a bunch of stuff. The problem is that a lot of fans, some of these people were coming to the stadium too. They don't really read into it as much as we do. We have higher expectations. They're there for the fireworks, after the game. So those people will always come. But the supporters groups, yeah, there's going to be some, but there's always going to be people who show up. I just want there to be better communication between the players and the supporters groups too. Kind of like what you were saying after a bad loss, them kind of facing the fans. They should. And I don't mind having fans there, even when a team sucks. I mean, look at Everton. Everton's a perfect example. They were fight with relegation the whole time, but their fans show up, right? But at the end of the game, they can kind of confront the captain. They have a few guys maybe that'll be able to talk to the board. At least their owners are a little bit more involved in the media. They're a little bit more open and candid about what's going on instead of us being all hush hush. Everything's all good. Don't ask any questions. This is fine. It's not fine. And I think a lot of fans don't know that. Like, we know that. We know this is not cool. But other people don't know that still. Other people are just going to keep going because they love the game and they want this team to win.
When does Sports Illustrated Stadium ban the not good enough sign?
I don't think they did ban it.
No, I said when. Like, you think this week?
Oh, never. That's like the one of the things that we do have, and those are the messages that we need to display more. And once fans see that, they'll be like, oh shit. Okay, so we got to send more messages like that. And that's up to the supporters group. I can't help them and tell them exactly what to do. But if they can be a middleman to us and tell the players.
I asked in the Red Bull discussion group, I was like, I don't get it. I went to the NYCFC game, and I was talking to somebody from NYCFC, and they put a couple things into play, like during Fanatics Fest. They were telling me that they put in a family could go on them, right, the first time, like Seattle did. But the thing that got me was that it was a regular dead Sunday, and they made Alonso Martinez a tifo.
Yeah, you spoke about that. Yeah.
So I asked on the page, and I'm like, guys, I went to the game, what's the deal? And then somebody said that there's a lot of work that goes behind them, but it's a lot of work to get people to come and do it with them. So that then brings me back. I'm like, granted, people have lives and stuff, but you can't be about it when it's convenient to be about it. You got to be about it all the time, So, I said it last week, we've mentioned it before also, the team was nice enough to fly some people out to the final last year. You at least owe them to be there when things are shitty right now and act like things are great, I think, because that's what's going to help the guys that are on the field. You're the 12th man. You want other teams to be scared to come and play in Harrison.
Yeah, and I think that's why we built that reputation, so it's kind of like, There's no fucking winning here. It's like if we don't show up, then the guys are like, oh, what's the, you know what I mean? Then we don't win. And then if we do show up, everyone's like, oh, okay, everything's hunky-dory, but it isn't. So that's the weird balance, and that's the thing. And I've seen a lot of people have been turned off by the Red Bull ownership. Some people canceling, season tickets, but
I've been seeing that.
It's because they made it to the finals last year, and I think they sold a lot of people on that fact that, hey, we're Eastern Conference champions. This is a good team led by your captain, Forsberg, and we got Dylan Nealis and Tolkien and whatever. We got some Jersey guys, we got some New York guys, so I think some people were sold on that. A lot of people were kind of coming back, and then that's the thing that sucks. Then you got all these eyes coming back, and you give them a fucking dead season like this. That's what's so tough. And they're not going to get back.
Or is it maybe cheaper just to go when you want to go? You can go for $5 any day of the week. Except for Messi.
Except for the Messi game. I want the tickets to be expensive. If once we bring in some players, like if we bring in a Griezmann and stuff, I would love for it to be difficult to get.
Hold on.
That's what they should aspire to. We we went on our rants last week about that shit, so I'll leave that in the past. But I mean, it's obvious. The front office clearly as well has not done enough. There's been zero communication between Mario Gomez, Joachim Schneider, Julian de Guzman, and Mark DeGrande, Poppy, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't even hear higher. You hear from them in the very, very beginning of the season and at the very, very end. That seems like what the theme is. And all that in between is just Sandro Schwartz. Sandro kind of just like meddling
so are you
and
putting
put out any
Sandro's
fires that are coming up.
Are you putting Sandro's head on the chopping block? If you had to choose one, who were you choosing? Out of all the people you just said,
yeah,
you just mentioned every single person from the front office all the way down to the field that are in power.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard with the assistant coaches.
Okay,
but I would say Schneider, and if we miss playoffs, then Sandro too. Both those guys.
But
if we miss playoffs, Sandro. If we miss playoffs, I honestly think it is a fireable offense. You brought in Choupo-Moting. Okay, you have Morales here, who's an all-star, supposedly in Chile. He wouldn't get all that praise if he fucking sucked. All right,
I thought he was Ecuadorian, by the way. That Chris talks about him.
Yeah, I know. That's why they love him. Shout out Christian Ortiz. Couldn't be here today, so we appreciate anybody listening. For me, just
Who's
being
still listening at this point.
We're still listening at this point. This is just a bunch of rant and raving. But we touched on a couple things, you know what I mean? Like, is it worth making playoffs? Is it already a failure of a season regardless? It's really tough because we really, want this New York area teams to be competitive year in and year out. We want the recognition we feel like we deserve. We're coming up on a World Cup year, one of the biggest years for soccer in America. And what better way, to get more fans to glue to your team if you have a quality team on the pitch, and after they're done watching the World Cup, they want a new team to support. And look at you guys, you're in third or second place with a couple, guys from Germany and playing in Bundesliga and Champions League. And then there you go. There's your new crop of fans. Red Bull loses a lot of fans, but they believe they can just keep churning new people in. So that is a thing that I don't think it's good for building lifelong fans, though.
No, that's what I mean, dude. Like, you know that older gentleman that came to our event from the Scottish club in Carney? Like a guy like that who's invested in this team since they were the Metro Stars. Like, how? Oh, wait. Let me backtrack a second. Sorry, Steve. They did make a signing. They brought in the goalie that they scored 7 goals on who used to play for LA Galaxy. Yeah. So they did make a move, and I totally forgot about this. Because it was probably the best move they made. The only move they made. They brought in the guy that they scored the touchdown on to be the backup, right? Because AJ was gone? Or is he going to be the guy and they're not going to bring back Carlos?
I don't know. That's why I'm putting my hand in my face right now.
You're doing the Sandro.
Yeah, it's infuriating. To even think about. Yeah, we brought in McCarthy from LA Galaxy, small fee. Yeah, it's just to cover Carlos's ass if he goes down for some reason and we don't have anybody. It's better than, I guess, putting Aiden Stokes in there. But man, I mean, also after the couple saves that Carlos made last game, you got to give him the bag now. I don't know.
Come on, man! I've been saying this all year. Give him the bag. I don't know what the fuck they're waiting for, man. It's there, right? It's there.
It's there, and we can't. Like, Carlos Cornell has been one of our better players, and he's probably one of the leaders. And even when AJ came in, his attitude, supposedly when AJ came in, he was very good. He took it very well. You heard it from Sandro. He had a great conversation with Carlos, even when he was favoring AJ in that little few weeks. So you want somebody like that in your locker room, I would say. And he's kind of bounced back the last few games. So we really need that. And no offense to McCarthy, it's just maybe it's a morale booster for the guys to score on them in practice. I don't know. No offense. Nah, John McCarthy's a good guy. All jokes aside, the LA Galaxy played like shit that game.
There was nobody there.
Yeah, it was.
But they're making their little push in the tournament too.
Yeah, there was LA Galaxy are in the semifinal of the League's Cup.
Yeah.
Good for them, and good for all the MLS Cubs for reaching the semifinal. We got a
Yeah,
Miami.
MLS.
We got
Shout out
Miami.
MLS.
Yeah, we got Miami versus Orlando on the one side, and then I'm pretty sure it's Seattle versus LA Galaxy on the other, which is very interesting to see no Mexican sides in there. And that's why it's annoying to not, have taken those competitions seriously. It's another one that's just a head scratcher for Red Bull as we wait for our actual one signing, which is Gustav. That will bolster our midfield significantly. He's pretty much just going to get thrown into a starting position right away whenever he gets here. Do you think he'll start next game?
Dude, I hope so because you need him back there. You need him. Like, he's the guy that's going to maybe help this situation out. We've talked about it the past couple of weeks also. Everybody's talking about the top, your top guys. But, like, the back has been a little shaky. The goal that they got, bro, they look lost, bro. Tim Parker, I don't know how they left him so open for him to get that shot off. Like, I'm like, what just happened here?
Yeah. Well, Tim Parker isn't the quickest defender.
No, but he's been great, too.
Yes, he has been. He has been good. Tim Parker's been solid. I mean, the back line we've criticized heavily as well, but of course, when they somewhat do their job, it's the offense that falls flat. And we can rightfully say that offensively we were let down this past week in a massive, massive game that left us kind of all, like we said, scratching our heads, and we had Dax McCarty roast the entire organization afterwards. If you haven't seen it, you should go look up Dax McCarty post-match reaction to New York Red Bulls versus Charlotte FC.
One of the Red Bull pages posted it.
Yeah, one of the Red Bulls pages posted it. It pretty much sums up everything we want to say. It's just not good enough from this New York franchise. We have high expectations. It shouldn't be surprising anybody.
Do you think that the Red Bulls saw that and they were like, oh, he's just a hater because of the way it ended here?
I hope not. But this is what we need. We need it to get out in the news cycle. It can't just be fans complaining. It needs to be analysts. Like, it's like this for any team. Like, once it starts, like, trickling across all things where it's like, okay, your fans are turning against you. The media is turning against you. Even the MLS people are saying that this is unacceptable. Like, they're definitely watching. They're definitely listening. Schneider has to be listening. And that's why when they do come up, we're going to have to really ask questions that are straight to the point and are just no holes barred. Don't feel bad because they're trying to get away with fucking murder over here, doing the bare minimum and expecting the max results. And I just don't think that is a way to work around the New York, New Jersey area. You're not a New York team. You're not a New Jersey team. So what the fuck are you? You're not. You just fall somewhere in the middle. And you get forgotten about over here pretty easily, okay? There's tons of other sports that people can watch than this shit that you want to plow out 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds on the field with pros, with Wilf Zaha. Like, he doesn't even look like he's trying. Do you see that way he got out of that little press on that one play?
Yeah.
Just quality. Quality on the wings, quality at the back. They got Tim Ream back there. Even when Charlotte lost one of their top guys, Aubameyang or whatever the fuck his name is, they still find ways to win. They got a good coach in Dean Smith. They got a good core. That team seems like a team that's actually ready to make a finals. And a team that we could have still beaten, but we're just not capable of it right now. We're not capable of pulling out big results out of our ass. We rely on Forsberg and Chupo for everything. So it's not a way to work. It's not a way to move forward either. I don't know what's going to happen at this next game, but we know one thing. That Wiki fucking Carmona will start versus Columbus. It's almost a guarantee. I like Mostly Bull's tweets there where he puts Wiki's face on Thanos and he says, I am inevitable. Which is true, because he fucking starts no matter what.
Doesn't matter, bro. But he has nothing else. Like I was saying on another page, I'm like, the guy doesn't have much to work with right now. This isn't the U.S. Open Cup. You could do that, like all the RB2 guys that played the night before, you could bring them to the League's Cup. You can't do this the rest of the way. But now you have to because you didn't make any signings.
Yep, and that's why you didn't make any signings, man.
That's true. All right.
This is where we're at. This is where we're at, and let's hope for a play-in, I guess, until next fucking transfer window, until lots of changes are coming. So with that, let's just get our quick match predictions in for this Saturday, Labor Day coming up, end of the summer, end of the fucking summer. It's sad. We got 11 wins. Can we get number 12? This is a big one versus Columbus Crew. What are we thinking? Diego Rossi's in town.
I love Diego Rossi. I think he's really good. They need a draw. They need points. So get a point. Whatever you got to do, get a point. At this point, I'm rooting for Derby because that's going to be the most exciting thing in the playoffs, right? So let's get that done the right way. So get some points this game. However you got to get it. Play smart. Just don't beat yourself. Don't make a mistake that's going to beat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Like, don't fucking beat yourself. That's it. That's my fucking it for the night.
Right?
Don't
Lessen the mistakes. Keep it simple. Keep it a close game. It was a close game in that Charlotte one without that one mistake. That's why it's, football, soccer, it is really about these small little moments, and they can really make or break you. I'm going to say a Red Bulls 2-1 gritty win. 2-1 gritty win. I'm hoping that we get it over the line. I don't even know who scores in this one. But I think we in a must-win when Red Bulls absolutely need it, we will get it. Sandro saves himself a little bit, but he's got bigger fish to fry with Portland upcoming and a New York City, New York Red Bulls derby coming up at Sports Illustrated Stadium, which will be a massive game for playoff implications for both clubs. So we'll see if we get to face those, City Smurfs in the play-in. As a Red Bulls fan, I personally do not want to face them because it's been too soon since the last playoff game. I don't want them to avenge some sort of playoff demons.
And the last time you guys played them, they were bad. Red Bull were bad.
Yeah. So, and I wanted them last time. I said it would be good because we had some momentum off beating the Crew. So this time in a playing game and a one-off, I don't know. It gets a little shaky. I do want to be there to see it, but if we could face I don't know. I don't know what the options are, really, because the Crew could even fall in that playing game if we beat them. A lot can happen if we can win a couple games here. There's still a little bit of time, a smidget, but not much time left. So, coming down to the crunch time, we appreciate everybody sticking with us. I'm going to show you a quick jersey real quick.
I was about to ask for one. Good shit, Steve.
Look, we got two legends right here. I just did a pop-up in Bordentown. However, we will be coming back to Veritage very soon. I'm looking into September and October.
What are we thinking? I didn't know this.
Yep, September or October. I'll give you the dates when it comes up for some big Premier League matches.
Let's go.
So we got if you're lucky enough, this will still be available. Little Zinedine Zidane, little Wayne.
Little Wheezy.
Little Wheezy. And I just sold, unfortunately, little Lamps. Lampard.
Ah, nice.
Chelsea, 04. So the Premier League is back, which helps, everyone's sanity a little bit, but we got to keep watching MLS one way or another, right? This shit is a roller coaster. We're back down again, and I hope there's one more notch, and we can go and fucking make another trip around.
But
holy
man.
Shit, the fans
Steve,
are angry.
This was good. I think Chris will be proud of us, man. I think we did good today.
I hope Chris will be proud of us. I hope the fans will stick with us, at least keep listening. Win or lose, this is our club, so we get a say, even though we're fucking owned by a corporate entity. This is still our club at the end of the day, so we appreciate all of you guys. We'll be doing a giveaway soon. This upcoming home game, we're going to have some South Ward t-shirts. I got a couple hats, so if you come find us and say that you listened to this episode, we'll give you some free merch.
Oh, man, I'm going to say I listened to it. I want the merch. Do you have it? Where is it? I want to see, man.
Yeah, you want some for watch out for the Instagram post. That's all. There'll be a post coming with a few pictures, and you can see what you can win.
All right, let's get it. Steve, this was fun, bro.
All right, I hope you guys had fun. This is my first time hosting in a little while, so I got to dust off the shelf. But to everybody, we appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Vamos Red Bulls. Keep the faith. Peace out.
Peace. At the Exchange FC. Holla.